Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday, the 10th of May. So, starting with the euro dollar, and since I've been away, it looks like it's just at least continued in the mode of selling off. And well, perhaps we'll get a bounce today. Let's have a look. We're sitting there with Doji in yesterday, already seeing a bounce today, to be fair. It started yesterday. There was no divergences. I was looking across. I don't think there was an RSI divergence here. No, there wasn't either. These lows yesterday, so it's not necessarily a convinced move. We could see a bit more confirmation of this move to, if it is going to be up to upside. If we see a break of that very wonky line I just put on there, but if we see a break of that previous high, that really just may suggest there's some potential upside here. In the short term, well, let's have a look, 60-minute time frame here, and maybe it's already putting some of those sort of signals in there with some higher lows, higher highs sort of movement. We're just seeing another one here. May have to just wait pre 8 o'clock to see the price action. It did put probably a better reversal in yesterday from the morning session there through. We'll see how it does today. May do the same and sell off in the afternoon again. That 200 looks like it is a potential target if we do go in that direction. Just need to, as I say, wait till post 8 o'clock, and I'll be looking maybe to pitch a bit of a long side. It's got some potential, but likewise, if we start seeing things selling off here, I'm just looking at the trend line that's sort of well, it's probably across a couple of points here, but somewhere, well, there we are, across there as well, which may sort of be if not the first point of sell. If we see a shorter term time frame sell point, it's maybe a secondary add-in or something on the way back down towards yesterday's lows at around about 1830. I would be looking for there. So we'll see how this pans out, but in the moment, as I said, it looks like there is the potential of a bit more of a bounce. Confirmed more so on the shorter time frames than the bigger time frames at the moment. The pound no different. Pound didn't sell off quite the same as the euro, obviously, over the last few days. It's just chopped, and again, it's at the moment pushing up there. We have got the Bank of England data, inflation report, and decision today at 12. I should say there are quite a few European bank holidays today. Now this one is the Ascension Day for France and yep, Germany. So we've got bank holiday through part of Europe, so it might be a bit funny this morning. 9:30, one coming back to the pound though. 9:30 we've got manufacturing production, can give some a decent kicker, and then we've got the inflation data, and interest rate decision. It is expected that was expected, I should say, that it would be increased this time. I'm looking at the figures here on Forex Factory, and that's suggesting it's being left alone. So maybe there's enough comments being made to reduce that down. It is May, isn't it? Yes. Well, there is that the outside chance maybe, but there may be still a chance, and if that pops in their surprises, I think the pound will go flying at least for a day, but upwards that is, maybe, because it looks like it's been discounted now by some or many analysts. So we'll see how it runs, but just need to watch that carefully come 12 o'clock. Okay, it may set the tone for the next day or two at least. Now, looking at the shorter time frame, looking at a 30-minute chart here, not 60 actually. Sorry, I want to just change this to a 60-minute chart if I can. Sorry, I was looking at that on the euro a moment ago as well. So what we've got here, well, same sort of pattern, engulfing sort of pattern almost happening there, but almost a bullish engulfing if it could close a little bit higher. But either way, it's quite a strong old candle that we've seen here. It's pitched to taking the bottom out the previous candle and the top. It's where it closes is quite important, but it could pitch up and we could see a move back towards yesterday's highs, and the daily R1, the 200, all nicely sat there waiting to be tested. Maybe it's slow this morning with the waiting for that 12 o'clock data, but we'll see. Okay, dollar yen. Dollar yen, a little bit of support there off that 100 originally. Consolidation yesterday saw a good shove upwards, and we're seeing it starting again here. Maybe again looking towards that daily 200. Still hasn't been hit on my charts here, so there's a potential for that as a near-term target, but it may have more legs in it yet. There was a decision, or it sounds like there's concern of increasing any interest rates in Japan, and it will affect business, etc., which looks like they'll back away from doing such. So we could see the yen soften further. Let's look at the 60-minute time frame here. Choppy as anything through that Asian session. So not particularly clear, but probably with the way we've seen this movement, perhaps we've got another move to the upside or step to the upside at some point. Aussie dollar, still checking on the sentiment here. The sentiment hasn't changed that much. The retail sentiment is still very bullish. Now they may eventually get it right, although it wasn't quite as bullish as it has been. There is a bit of divergence here on the dailies, which may draw more people in on the RSI here. So have a look, see if it's a copied. No, there's no divergence on the MACD though. It's shorter. My quicker signal is certainly signaling a bit of divergence there. A bit of consolidation 4 hourly wise, 60 minutes. Well, it has put a little higher low, high sort of movement in this, and it's a bit like the euro in that respect. It does look like there is the potential. You just need to wait. I mean, the alternative is, if you're looking at this from a daily point of view, is just putting the trend line across the lows and wait for the break of that low. If you look for the downside, may get back down towards the S1, yesterday's body lows there at maybe even 74.20 area. Okay, Aussie dollar, and finally the Canadian dollar. Now the Canadian dollar should have seen some benefit from the strong oil price, and well, pretty much has. Looking at this dailies yesterday, it's whereas everything else was doing what it was doing, it strengthened quite a bit and held on to its gains, and it looks like it is at the moment. So it did finally push out of that expanding wedge. Didn't really go that far. It did okay, but back within the range, and looking like it now wants to go the other way. So it's just making the wedge look bigger. Not a lot to be had there in terms of it. May be opportunities, although there's a big divergence on the 60-minute here. See what the slower MACD is a bit the same as well. There's a bit of divergence sitting across there. So there is a bit of divergence sitting across that sort of area. However, the easiest route is to the downside. Any retracement may be a sell point. Yeah, there we go. So news today then, just finally finish off, just to confirm, manufacturing production 9:30 this morning on the pound. May see some volatility there. Maybe one to keep out of today really, for a while at least, until we see the post news and see if we can catch on the coattails of that at 12 o'clock when we get the inflation report, interest rate decision, etc. And then this afternoon we've got the US inflation data. Again, it could create a bit of volatility. So that's pretty much it. Have a great one. Bye for now.